7 Sports Pub, located at 102 Northeast Russell Street. It's open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. You can contact them at 503-719-4890.
Welcome in, Portland SportsBeat. We are live on Comcast, channel 22, I believe. And Fridays you can watch it 11:30 p.m. on channel 11. And also PortlandSportsBeat.com, you can listen live. I am joined today by a new co-host. Her name is Taylor Foster, and I'm Brad Stein. And we're ready to have a fun day. What do you say? Fun day?
Super fun day.
All right. We have a busy but tantalizing show for you. Coming up in a few minutes, Central Catholic girls basketball state champs are going to tell us how they're going to fit another state championship banner in their crowded gym wall. And then about 22 minutes, Valley Catholic girls basketball will be returning and show us how the whole team, 4 players, a coach, and a trophy are all going to fit on this beautiful love seat, all next to PJ Miller. And then later on Portland SportsBeat, the one and only Portland Community College men's basketball, led by head coach Tony Broaddus and assistant coach Aaron Bell, will bring us a couple players, and they're going to talk about what's the recipe for success to capture a championship Panther basketball. So, thank you very much for joining us. What do you think so far? Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I heard you play basketball.
I did. Back when I was in high school, I played my freshman through junior year of high school.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
I loved it. I was a point guard. Loved shooting. That was my big thing. I love playing defense, too.
Would you say you're good?
I had a lot of room for improvement, that's for sure.
A lot of room for improvement, because, see, right now what we do is we pass the ball and we go to the interview station because we have Central Catholic girls basketball state champs ready to talk in the pit with PJ Miller. So I'm thinking about giving you this ball to throw it to the girls. Do you think you're ready for that?
I guess so.
Do you think you can do it? Are you going to hit a light here and scare everyone half to death? Because we have a lot of people on set watching us. I better do it. Maybe next, we'll do it. How about next segment? So we're going to pass it to PJ Miller. We have the Central Catholic girls basketball. We are going to see how good they are, if they can really catch the ball, because I'm going to throw it to them. Watch your head, because the first time I was here, the co-host, her name was Michelle, I hit her right in the head, and it ruined her hair, and she was very upset. So hopefully it won't happen again. Here we go. So camera, watch this.
All right, we're here with the 6A girls basketball state champion, Central Catholic High School. So we're going to go ahead and start with the coaches over here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us maybe a little bit about you and how long you've been with Central Catholic.
Sure, my name is Todd Abraham. This is my first year with the Rams. I've been coaching basketball for about 25 years. Started CYO, did a little bit of club, which I still do now. And then Sandy asked me on to the staff this year, and we had a great season.
Are you a Central Catholic alum?
I am, class of 1985. All my brothers went there too.
Nice, nice. Well, congratulations on a great year this year.
Thanks.
Sandy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Sandy Dickerson. This is my 14th year with Central Catholic, and coached many places before here, but I love being at Central Catholic.
So how did you get involved at Central Catholic?
Well, I first started, I've been a cross-country coach there forever, and Glenn Lee was the head coach, and he invited me over to coach. I was busy coaching at Jesuit at the time, and he reeled me on over, and I've been there ever since.
All right. We got a couple of players here with us as well. Why don't you, Tyler, go ahead and start?
Well, I'm Tyler, and I've been playing basketball for a very long time, and I've been on varsity freshman through senior year, and I'm a shooting guard.
And you're a senior this year?
Yeah.
All right. And then Amantha, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Amantha. I'm a senior, and I've been playing also since freshman year on varsity. I've been playing basketball since 6th grade, and I'm a small forward.
So, Amantha, how long have you two known each other?
Since 6th grade. when we started
Since 6th
playing
grade?
together.
Yeah.
So you guys have been playing basketball together for a while.
Yeah.
So how does that chemistry come into effect when you guys are out on the field or out on the court?
It's really good. And then 2 of our other players have been playing with us since 6th grade also.
Who are those players?
Kylie and Jordan.
Kylie and Jordan?
Yeah.
Nice. So there's been kind of this chemistry that's been building through these years that's kind of led up to what you guys have now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So talk about the history of Central Catholic. You know, it's a very proud franchise kind of area in here with Portland and kind of what they've been able to do. So talk a little bit about playing at a place like Central Catholic.
Playing there is just, it's nice because it's such a big, like, welcoming community, and we have a lot of support at our games. And
I feel like over the years we've grown so well together and just created like a good name for our program as a team and have like made good history. So it's been special.
So you guys have a couple of your coaches here tonight. What has it been like playing for Sandy as a head coach?
It's good.
Was there a little hesitation there? Or? So how has she helped you develop as a player?
Well, she's yelled at me for to like keep shooting since I'm a shooter, and a lot of times if I'm not making it, I'll stop shooting, and she doesn't want me to do that. So I guess getting yelled at.
Amantha, how about for you?
I think she's helped us like grow as a team, especially over the past 4 years, like making us all grow together and like push each other and just like stay focused on winning a state title.
So Sandy, there was when we called you up to have a couple of players on, these were the 2 of the players that you wanted to have on. You know, there's some of your senior leaderships.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about what they bring to brought to the team this year.
Well, both of them bring a lot of leadership. Tyler, we kind of call her the mother of the team. And it's because she's really good about making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. If somebody doesn't get a text, she's really good about making sure it's like, I don't think so-and-so got a text. You better make sure that, and just making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. And also just the chemistry-wise of Tyler, she pushes people. She'll be that athlete in the gym when things start going a little crazy. She'll kind of be the one that kicks people in the rear, you know, from the team standpoint, and kind of gets everybody back on task. So she's been really good in that way, a huge leader for us. Amantha also, she's kind of like the enforcer on the court. Does so many things on the court. And I think that's a thing that I really wanted to bring those two, is sometimes these 2 do a lot of the things that aren't published in the paper. They're not the things that are in the book. Amantha pulls down so many boards and defends big people, and when people are doubling Kylie, Amantha is the person that really ends up hurting teams. Tyler, again, our shooting guard, a lot of times people can forget that Tyler's there. She went 10 for 10 in one game from the 3-point line, and could have gone more. So both of them have been very silent leaders and very important to what we did on the court.
So, you know, Coach talked about some of the other players on your team. You know, you have a couple of players who are going to be playing some Division I. Kind of talk about maybe what it's like to, you know, you have those players that, you know, sometimes you have to kind of fit in a little bit, or talk about your role with the team and kind of how you felt you fit in with the role of the team.
I don't know. I've always like known my role. Just do my job. Like, don't do anything that I wouldn't normally do. Just kind of how I played. And I played with, like, we both have played with Kylie and Jordan for a really long time. So I don't really see playing with them any like different. Like, I have to do anything special or anything. So.
We're just kind of used to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's been really happening since 6th grade, so we just know to like keep looking for each other, keep playing together, and it's got us far. So
Coach Todd, you know, I'm sure that you work with these girls a lot on like fundamentals and kind of the things that they have to do with. Talk about kind of like their work ethic and kind of how they got into the position to where they could become the athletes that they are.
Sure. Well, I've been fortunate enough to coach not just Central kids, but a lot of kids in the last 15 years through club basketball, and they were part of that group of sixth graders that came at that age. And we stress fundamentals every practice, the same things over and over, and they bought into that. And it was nice, it was fortunate that they ended up at the same school. So when Sandy brought me on for the their senior year, I was honored, and I was going to, let them know some things that I was going to tell them that they should do and that they can work on. And Sandy trusted me to have my set of eyes to give my input, and that's the biggest thing, I think. And Sandy did an incredible job. Is the expectations were on them to win from the beginning. You've got All-Americans, you've got 6 seniors, and it's not that easy. I mean, you can say, oh, you guys should win, but getting through Westview, getting through Oregon City, and then beating an incredibly talented South Medford team, the coaching was a big part, but it was their teamwork. They never got down on each other, and they always picked each other up. That's what I saw from the beginning of practice, about mid-season, where they finally realized, you know what, this is it. And maybe they don't all love each other off the court, but on the court, there was, honestly, they were not going to be denied. By the time we got around to the tournament, there was a focus there. I'm so proud of them and honored to be on this team and part of this program. It was amazing.
We're going to get a little bit into the season that you guys had, but I just wanted to talk about maybe a couple of your teammates that maybe are a little bit unsung or that people don't know about and kind of what they contributed to the team.
I'd say Amira Abraham. Yeah. She's a sophomore, and she's a wing/guard. She just really produces a lot from the outside, and she's like one of those quiet players, but she has her big games.
Yeah, she throws really good passes.
So what do you think are the outlook for Central Catholic going into next year? You guys, like Coach talked about, you're losing some pretty good seniors this year.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about like what the legacy that you've left for these younger players.
I think we've left like pretty high expectations and like work ethics that they need to like do, and I think they'll be good next year if they just continue on the path that we did this year in the same intensity.
Yeah, so you guys kind of laid that pathway for them to get to where they want to be next year as well, right?
Yeah, because our team was really young. We only had sophomores and freshmen, so I think they learned really good from us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wanted to get into this year, and Coach Sandy just kind of talk about Coach talked about the kind of the expectations going into the year. What were your expectations for the team going into this year?
Well, I think we all had the same expectations. We've been gearing for it for 4 years, really, and that was to be in that championship game and to win that game. That being said, we still also knew that it was a day-to-day process, and the focus was how are we going to get better every day, and how are we going to get better every game. And I think the chemistry of this team and the leadership of our seniors to help those freshmen and those sophomores move along in that path was really key to the strength of the team, especially in those last 2 weeks of the year. The last 2 weeks of this year, the seniors in particular just, they crowded everybody together and off everybody went. And I think you could really see, if you'd seen our team play all year, especially the last 3 games, they knuckled down, and you could tell that these kids, the chemistry and the love that they have for each other on the court, you could see it. It was like oozing out. To watch them in the locker room, to hear them in the bus rides on the way, it was really fun.
All right. So just kind of want to jump into the state tournament. You guys had expectations. You guys have been ranked #1 in state all year, and so you guys are coming into that tournament. And what were your expectations going into the tournament? There's gonna you're gonna have a couple of tough teams coming. When you get into the semifinals and finals. So what were your how are you preparing for that state tournament?
Well, I was personally preparing like we have to play the best to be the best. So to get to that championship, we had to play those good teams and prove that we're the best, and just take each game by game.
I think the most important thing was taking every step, like one at a time, each quarter, one at a time, every game. Even if we're up, like we have to play like it is our last game because it could have been.
Yeah.
So we just had to keep that in mind throughout the whole tournament.
So you guys get into that championship game, and you know it was a pretty tough game for you guys. Kind of walk us through kind of how that game went and kind of what was going on for you.
I don't remember that game either.
You don't remember the championship game? So you guys remember
we started out, we were behind.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh yeah, we were behind by
yeah.
like 10 or something.
Yeah.
7 or 8.
8, I think.
8, yeah.
I know, and then oh yeah, I remember. Okay, this is what happened. We were down, and then we had to come out. It was timeout, and I remember looking at all of them, and I was like, all of us were like, this, like, don't let it slip away. We can't like dig ourselves a hole. Like, don't let this happen. And then we came out and we took the lead.
So what was that motivation, or what kind of kicked you into that higher gear to be able to do that?
We knew there was like no other choice. Like
Like,
we
it's
need
our
to get
last
together
year.
now, and we like couldn't get too far behind. You know, we had to like start then.
And then by the end of the game, you guys kind of pulled away from them. So you guys could kind of tell, you know, as those last few 3-4 minutes were kind of winding down, you could kind of feel that you guys kind of knew that it was definitely within your grasp. Talk about that feeling of knowing that something is so close. A state championship is within your grasp.
I can't really describe that feeling because it's kind of indescribable. It's like, it's such a good feeling. So.
Is it something that, do you feel more like a personal kind of thing, or do you feel like it's a team accomplishment as you're sitting there waiting for it?
Team.
Yeah, for me, like definitely team, just because I played with them for so long. Like I started basketball pretty much with them, and like to finish it and get a state championship with the people I started with is amazing for me.
So the final buzzer goes off. You guys are state champions. There was a lot of euphoria out on the court. We actually had some video of it. We were at the game, and we showed that after the state championship. And you guys were just embracing each other. And we're going to get to a funny story here in a minute. But talk about that embracing your team afterward, and you know, kind of what it feels like. You know, you've talked about all that hard work that you've put in, and kind of now you've got it. Talk about the teammates and being able to celebrate with them.
I know you're thinking what I'm thinking.
Yeah. It was amazing. We all ran. I think did we run to center court?
Yeah, we had it planned out actually what we were gonna do
Yeah.
after we won state. We all ran to the center and like hugged each other.
Yeah, we did jumping hugs. We thought that'd make good pictures. So that was our plan, and we did it. And then we actually sung a little song as a team.
Talk about
But yeah, I don't think everybody really saw that. But
that. Yeah. We just
I saw some people doing some high fiving. They had some things that they were doing. So you guys sound like you guys had it coordinated. Is
yeah,
that,
we kind of had a little plan going.
Yeah. So you guys were that confident that you guys would be able to win a state championship.
we were just prepared.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are cutting down the nets, and Tyler, why don't you tell us about your net cutting experience, or would it be better to have Amantha tell us?
Well, it took her a good at least 4 minutes to cut the net down. Cut like a little tiny piece.
No, I wanted a big piece. That was why it took a long time.
Yeah, and I don't know like how.
The scissors weren't working.
Yeah, the scissors weren't working, but they work for everybody else.
But they were working.
Yeah.
And she just sat there snipping away.
Yeah, I was up there forever, and like so many people took pictures, and I was like trying to get a big piece because I wanted a big piece to put on my medal, so you know, and I kept cutting it, but it wouldn't rip, like it wouldn't go all the way. Like I got it halfway, and I was just like sitting there doing it up there, and then I like would look down, and everybody was laughing. So embarrassing, especially in like front of like the whole crowd.
Lots of people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you very much for coming in. This is Central Catholic 6A girls basketball state champions, Amantha Hood, Tyler Kotzian, Upshaw, Todd Abraham, and Sandy Dickerson. You are 6A state champions. And if we still have that basketball over there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw it back to Brad.
Oh, wasn't ready for that. So what do you think? Have you ever cut down any nets before?
No, definitely have
No?
not.
Haven't had that opportunity yet?
Watched other teams do it, but personally haven't.
No. So how do you think you would fare against those girls?
Oh, we would They would probably beat us by 100 points.
Yeah. Well, what about one-on-one? You think you can defend one of those in the post, one of those girls?
No.
You don't want to try?
No, I'm
Maybe
okay.
another day.
Another
Maybe another day. Okay. We're going to put this away here, but very excellent interview. So thank you, PJ, and thank you, Central Catholic Girls Basketball State Champs, for joining us here on Portland Sports Beat. Remember, we are live on Comcast Channel 22. Fridays, you can watch on 11:30 p.m., Channel 11. And don't forget to go on portlandsportsbeat.com. It'll say listen live. Click on that, and you can listen live. Not just this episode, but every episode therefore after. Okay, so we have some more interviews coming up, but I wanted to tell a little story. I go on OregonSportsNews.com, another website that I'm on. I do a little podcast. This is true now. So I click on, we now have an affiliation with Portland Sports Beat. So I'm watching March 27th episode, and it was really, really good. And then I'm watching the end, and I notice, here come the credits. Well, there is a female pretty co-host right over here next to me, as you see. Just like her, it was another one. And the credits are all over my face, blocking me, but the young lady, you could see her. So I was wondering, so I have a little bone to pick with Ryan Johnson, the founder of Portland Sports Beat, and I will get him after the show. I was just curious why they wanted to block this face. And of course, the camera is all over the young lady, but I guess I kind of understand. I took it a little personal. I think maybe 15 minutes I was upset, but I will get over it. I will get over it. So I guess we should probably go back to the next interview. We have Valley Catholic girls basketball. I thought we were going to have a few more because we wanted to squeeze them all on a love seat, but I'm going to let you throw the ball. You think you're ready?
I think I'm ready.
You think you're ready?
I watched the master.
You watched the master throw it, and you saw how the girl caught it, and I didn't hit the light.
Yeah.
And she almost hit me in the face, but I caught it. I was snoozing, but
I think I can do it this time.
Here we go. You think you can do it? All right. Here we go. Valley Catholic girls with PJ Miller.
All right. Ready, girls?
Oh.
All right, that's good.
Beautiful.
All right, I'm here with Valley Catholic, the 3A state champions. This is the second time that you ladies have been on from Valley Catholic. So let's go ahead and start with Coach John. Why don't you introduce yourselves and maybe tell us how long you've been with Valley Catholic?
I'm Coach John Innes. I've been the head coach of Valley Catholic since 2004. I came to Valley Catholic in 2003 as an assistant and an English teacher, and I've been coaching basketball since '96.
So how did you end up at Valley Catholic?
I was living in Idaho at the time and got a call from principal at Valley Catholic and offered me a job of teaching and being an assistant basketball coach, and moved from Idaho to Beaverton, and have been here ever since. Love it.
Awesome.
I'm Grace Mannon, and I'm a junior at Valley Catholic, and I've been at Valley since the 2nd grade, and it's been a blast so far.
So you've been there since 2nd grade, so you've kind of grown up in the system and you kind of know about Valley Catholic. What is it like to play for a school like that?
I think it's really a neat and unique experience having such a close-knit community, being a smaller school where everybody kind of knows everybody. It's nice to have that interaction with and having like knowing the upperclassmen and the grade schoolers and being all on the same campus because it's a K through 12 program, and so it's really neat to be part of that program, and like growing up and playing with these girls since 2nd grade, it's been really nice to just getting to know them and getting to play the sport we all love. It's really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm Lindsay. I'm a junior. I've been at Valley Catholic since 5th grade, so I kind of joined these girls late playing, but I've enjoyed it. I'm excited for next year when we'll all be seniors. We have that bond going, I think, so I'm really excited to see what we can do.
So kind of coming in a little bit later than some of the other players, was there a sense of like fitting into what they were doing, or was everyone really accepting of new players? And
yeah, everyone was really accepting. I didn't actually play 5th grade because I was nervous about playing, I guess. But in 6th grade, it was so fun. Like, they're always so supportive, and come on, Lindsay, you can do it. So it was good to have that team support.
I'm Kim Dyke. I'm a junior at Valley Catholic, and I've been playing since 3rd grade, but I've been at Valley since kindergarten, so it's my home away from home pretty much.
So you have also kind of been there a long time. Talk about the dynamic of having, like high schoolers and grade schoolers at the same school.
I think for me at least, having those high schoolers there on campus, they were like my models. I knew right off the back, I'm going to play basketball. I want to be like them someday, especially like how outgoing they were. And it's just nice because it's almost like you have those role models as your friends, which barely happens, I mean, because they're usually celebrities or something. But it was really nice, and it's definitely that homey feeling.
So Lindsay, for this year, what was your expectation coming into the year for the basketball team?
Well, last year we got second in state, so obviously I wanted to at least get there again. But I know that we just wanted to do well in league. We have different goals throughout the season, so our first goal was to be league champs. And then when we got there, then it was focusing on the state tournament. And just the farther along we went, the better we wanted to do.
So in the off season, you were preparing to make a run like you guys did. Was your preparation different this year than it has been in the past? Was there a little bit more drive this year than there have been in previous years?
Definitely more drive. We did the same thing though, like summer basketball and then fall basketball. We played a lot of tournaments and stuff, so we got used to some of the teams that we ended up playing further along.
So Coach, you got some young players coming off of a runner-up the year before. What were your expectations for this team coming into it?
Well, I think our expectations are always pretty high from year to year. But obviously, like Lindsay said, I mean, after getting second, you do want to, especially when you have a lot of returning players, you do want to get back. And I think for us, at the beginning of the year, our goal is really, hey, we want to make it to the Final 8 side, make it to the state tournament and see what happens. But like Lindsay said, I mean, along the season, our goals change. And our original goal is, let's try to win a league championship, especially because we won it the previous year. So, being able to defend and all that is special. But really for us, I mean, and something that Coach said from Central Catholic, I mean, for us, a big goal is trying to get better every day. And it's so cliche, but it's something that we really try to do, and take each game, one at a time, take every opponent that we play very seriously, and not look too far ahead, and not get away from the day-to-day, because basketball season is really long. And if you have periods where you lull or you take teams for granted, it can really affect where you end up at the end. And so with the goal being, the Final 8 in Coos Bay at the end, the key is to make every game like a championship along the way so that you can get there. And I think the girls were incredible at embracing that idea and not letting their guard down in games, and not having too many days off in practice. And I think that's what makes a successful team.
Is that something how do you teach something like that? Is that like a repetition, something that you say to them over and over again? Or how do you actually instill that? I
think probably they think I'm a broken record most of the time, because we do talk about that all the time. And so it's not something that is a surprise to them. And, I've coached Lindsay and Kim and Grace since, grade school, not as their coach in CYO, but in camps. And like Kim said, I mean, they've been around and they've been able to see successful teams and successful gals to strive to be like. And so when they come into high school, it's really easy because it's not something new for them. They understand what the culture is, and they understand what the expectations are from practice to practice and game to game. And I'm sure they have days where they don't like it, but in the end, it's a big part of why we're successful.
So Grace, is he a broken record?
I mean, that's putting it, yeah, I'd say, I mean, there's no better way of putting it. He instills within us every single day to be better and to just do the best that we can. And if he says it multiple times of practice, or a couple times a week, that if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. But I mean, I guess there's no better way of putting it. But yeah.
So I'm sure if he says the same thing over and again, someone on the team's got a pretty good impression of Coach. Who's got the best impression? Come on, spill the beans. Who's got it?
Well,
you want to say who has it?
It's not an impression. It's more like a pose. When we're in games, he has this frog position almost, where he's like down. I don't. It's in his. Yeah. I don't know how else to say.
Are we gonna have to get a demonstration?
No.
No. Okay.
But I mean, it's him being excited in the game, and it makes the game a lot more fun for us, for the crowd, and we get into it more because of him.
So let's talk a little bit about, I know you guys have a pretty good story about Coos Bay and some of the stuff that happened, I'm guessing off the court. But let's talk a little bit about the court real quick. Talk about the tournament and kind of what you were kind of expecting when you went into that.
Okay, so the first game, I don't know, I guess I kind of just expected to win. I mean, I know we still had to play hard, but we won it last year, so I was hoping to win it again. And then our second game in the semifinals, we had to play Rainier, and they had beat us twice in the regular season. We beat them once, and we're rivals with them, so it was a pretty intense game, and we were down 12 at the end of the third quarter, so I think some of us were kind of thinking it might be over, but I think we kicked it into gear because we knew how badly we wanted it. We at least wanted to make it to the championship game. So when we won, that was just the best feeling. And then just knowing we'd be in the championship game where we'd have another experience to try and get first place this year, and like the first time ever in our history, it was a really good feeling.
So Kim, do you think that there was a little bit of nerves kind of going into that first game?
Well, I mean, it was for me because the season before I was out with a knee injury, so I was just watching the game. So this is the first time playing in Marshfield Gym. It was like a castle on the outside, really intimidating, but I knew that we could do it. I mean, we worked so hard all season. It was just like nothing. It's just another game that we have to focus on at that time, and then we can move on.
So, Grace, after you guys win that game, you guys continue to go on. Could you feel like the momentum was building as you guys were playing more games and winning?
I definitely felt that we had momentum on our side, and especially after the first game, it was kind of a peak because we knew we were going against Rainier, and they being our Lewis and Clark League rivals, it was gonna be a battle of wills for almost definitely. And we always say at Valley Catholic that they seem to put on their best games for us, so we were expecting a really good basketball game, but like having a good win against the first team that we played, it just really helped, I think, and having that drive and desire to really want to get to the final again, I think that really helped us, and being together as a team, that really made a difference.
So, Lindsay, why don't you talk a little bit about the championship game and kind of how that went for the team?
We started out ahead for a while, so I don't think we were too nervous, but I mean, so much can change over the course of the game. So I just remember us being up 9-2, but then quickly they were coming back because they have two Alvarez sisters, they're twins, and they hit threes like no other. So started getting back in the game, and then I think we just, after halftime, we just knew we had to kick it into gear again. So we were able to go out there and play our hardest, and it ended up working out for us that we won the state championship.
So as you guys are kind of going through that game, did you guys have doubts, or were you guys pretty confident from the beginning that you were going to be able to win that game?
I mean, once we got in the locker room, it wasn't, normally in games when we're not feeling confident, we're gonna have so many comments like, come on, we gotta do this and this and this. But it was more like, hey, we're doing this pretty good, we might have to work on this. But I'm not sure what it was, so I'm just saying this right now. But all in all, I think we were pretty confident in ourselves. It was the last game for these seniors. We wanted to make it count. Those 6 seniors that meant so much to us. We had so many fans there, and just that's all we needed, really, was teamwork.
So one of the things I want to talk about, you guys talk about the community that Valley Catholic has. I remember seeing Twitter updates. You know, I was following what was going on down there, and you guys had a pretty good. Your boys were down there too, right? Yeah. Yes. You guys had a pretty good contingent of fans go down there. What is it like knowing that the people who are in your community are going to travel and support you like that?
I think it's really neat how our Blue Crew, that's our cheering section, that's what we call it, how dedicated they are, and how inspired and how just full of life they are. And that life gives us life, and it helps us play. And it's really nice to have such a dedicated group of kids because and having some of the leaders of that Blue Crew as classmates, it's really neat to see that dynamic. And a couple of kids spent the night down in Coos Bay, and they're just diehard fans. So it's really nice to have that support and that love, and I think that really does make a difference in the way we play, because we're like, oh man, we don't want to go back to school and know that these guys came all the way, and it's like a 5-hour drive, so we better play our best for these guys. So
Yeah, a little bit of pressure there coming from having all those people show up.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys win your championship, and one thing, I don't know if everybody caught this, but you were all juniors. So what are your expectations for next year?
I think they want to have the same influence that our seniors had on us, on the rest of our team. I think we're pretty strong. Like, the girls are returning, and I think that there were a lot of freshmen last year that contributed a lot to our team, so I'm really hoping that they'll take a bigger role. I mean, I know they can in our team and contribute more. So I'm excited for next year. I think we have a good chance at going back.
Kim?
For me, it's going to sound sappy. I've said this before, I think, to all the teammates, but we need to be a family. It's on the court, you have to be friends. Off the court, you don't have to be friends, of course, but I believe that we need to be close like that. That's an important thing in teamwork. So that's like one of my goals as being a senior leader, is getting the team together, whether we do team bonding after practice or just games here and there, like for fun, and just being able to trust one another, because that's where it's all at, really.
So what are your plans for the off season?
As of right now, some of the girls are doing some spring sports stuff where they're on teams. Summer ball, we'll have that all back together. Fall ball is optional, but I believe we should all do it. I don't know. I just make it fun, get people excited, especially the incoming freshmen. That's something that I believe is important, is to make them feel like the family right off the back, not feel like small little freshmen, we're going to yell at you. We're not going to yell at you. Like, you're already in the family. We're taking you under our wings.
And does it help because they're already in the same school, so you kind of know who they are?
Yeah, not all of them are. I mean, Bailey and McDevitt came from Conestoga. Yeah, and right away, like, she's tall like me, so I'm like, hey, post buddy, what's up? But I definitely wanted to make her feel welcome because she did not know people right away. So I did my best to introduce her to people, and same with anyone else who came in from different schools.
So Grace, I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you going to win a state championship next year?
I'm not going to jinx it, but I think we can get there.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is the Valley Catholic, the 3A girls state champions. I want to say thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and we're going to throw it back to Brad, literally. So we'll, why don't you go ahead and throw that back for us.
You owe me one. I'm going to let you hold this because you did such a great job. So, again, thank you, PJ Miller. You did a wonderful job. Valley Catholic girls basketball. Most of those girls were juniors. So how do you think you'd do against them?
Definitely don't have, yeah, we wouldn't be at a state. I wouldn't be at a state championship, that's for sure.
No, maybe not. But what about one-on-one? You versus one of those girls? No, come on, you got 2 years on them. You're a freshman in college. You can't post one of those girls up, back her into the basket?
Maybe in another lifetime.
Maybe another lifetime.
Yeah.
Honesty. I love honesty. Isn't that great? Boy, do we have a treat coming up next. We have PCC men's basketball. And I know a lot about these guys because I had the great fortune to be the public address announcer for PCC men's basketball. And I'll tell you what, when I first got there, I had no clue what I was doing. But I winged it, and I thought I did a really nice job, and I loved watching them. They improved every single game, and we're going to find out a little bit more about that. And you're a PCC student, right?
Yeah, I am right now.
So how many games did you go to?
I will in the future.
You will in the future. So you're admitting here on Portland SportsBeat that you did not attend one game, and you are a student. You're a Panther.
Yeah.
That's
Next season.
That's okay. That's okay. Anyways, you're listening to Portland SportsBeat. You can watch live. Just go to portlandsportsbeat.com. That's right. Or you can watch it live on Comcast Channel
22.
How about that? Fridays, you can watch it 11:30 p.m. on Channel
11.
Oh, look at that. She remembers. It's good. You're going to love this. So I'm going to let you throw the basketball back to them, and I guarantee that they can probably catch the ball. But before we do that, I want to know a little bit more about this because I heard you are going to be a sideline reporter for the Portland Bolts football coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, it's my first real experience, I guess, on camera. Well, obviously,
Well,
besides
what's this?
I am on camera.
Yeah, you are. This isn't radio. You see that one right there? That's a camera. That's a camera. A bunch of cameras. Hi.
I forgot they were there.
Yeah.
But I guess on the sideline, like really interviewing with players, I guess, instead of a co-host. But
Okay.
it's still fun being here with you.
Oh, it's still fun being here with you. I'm happy you're having fun, but this is your first experience. You get to experience it with me, so I am just absolutely thrilled. So we're going to go. I'm going to let you throw to one of the guys.
All right.
All right. We are here with Portland Community College and out of the NWAC here in the local Community College League. So why don't we go ahead and start with Coach and tell us who you are and how long you've been with PCC.
Aaron Bell. It was my first year with Portland Community College basketball team. Local native, went to Benson High School, played in the NWAC at Grace Harbor Community College, went on to play at Weber State University, and done various things in the community around, and just happy to be back home and involved in PCC men's basketball.
Awesome. Coach Aaron?
Head coach Tony Broadus, and first year here at Portland Community College.
And so first year at, how did you end up at PCC?
Well, you know, I coached high school basketball here in the state of Oregon for 20 years, coming out of college, Oregon State Beaver, jumped right into to high school coaching, coached at Roosevelt High School for 10 years. I did 4 years on varsity there, 7 JV, and then went over to Grant High School, where I did 10 years at Grant, had a lot of success, coached some really good players, won a state championship in 2008, and just last year decided it was the perfect time to move on. Portland Community College was a school that I had my eyes on for a long time, being that it's the community college that represents Portland, and they weren't doing real well, and I was passionate about coming over and getting them on the right track.
So we've covered Grant basketball here. We actually did a game out there. Talk about that jump going from coaching high schoolers to college kids.
It was a challenge, but I'd say it was a lot of fun. I can honestly say I had the most enjoyable time coaching that I've had in all my years. These young men, these two that we have here, and just the group as a whole were awesome. They, you know, the high school guys sometimes still tend to think they're all going to the NBA, they're all gonna be rich, you know, and community college guys are a little older, they understand reality, they just enjoy playing. They still hope to get to the NBA, and we hope that they keep that goal and work to attain that, but they're more realistic. And the group I had this year was just a wonderful group of guys that worked hard and did everything we asked them of them.
All right, we're going to get back to talking about these guys, but let's go ahead and introduce them once you go ahead and start.
My name is Marcus Bailey. This is my first year at PCC. I'm a shooting guard. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. I played my high school ball for Vancouver.
So this is your first year at PCC. How did you end up at PCC? Were you recruited there, or is it someplace that you kind of saw that you wanted to play at?
Really, after I graduated high school, I traveled around the world, stayed down south, and really was trying to find a school to play for. And one thing led to another. I found out about PCC online, seen what they had done last year, and then decided to come back home, and then just really walked on and just showed my talents.
Nice.
My name is Warren Edmondson, and I'm a freshman, basketball-wise, but school-wise, I'm a sophomore. I am born and raised in Portland, but then I transferred over to Vancouver, Washington to finish my high school, or go to high school, and then I decided to come back here to play basketball for Portland Community College.
What high school did you go to over in Vancouver?
Evergreen High School.
Evergreen. So just right over the river.
Yeah.
So why did you decide, was it like a family thing where you had family back here that you came back to PCC?
Well, I have family in both places, but coming out of high school, I was kind of looking for somewhere to play and see where I would fit in, and I really was kind of doubting myself. And coming out of high school, I didn't think I was ready to play college basketball, so I took a year off, played, got in better shape, and then this year I decided it was my time to play.
So, talking about playing at a community college, How do you think that transition from high school to community college has been for you?
Well, community college is way more structured. They ask a lot more of you, and they're going to get it out of you whether you like it or not. I feel like my college career is going to be way more funner and way better in every aspect than high school.
So now you've had your first year under your belt.
Yeah.
What are your expectations when you go into next year now that you've had a year of experience?
Oh man, really just playing hard, really winning a banner for the team. You know, that was our goal. First day was getting a banner. You know, put PCC on the map.
So, Coach, wanted to talk a little bit about last year. Record-wise, the team did not have a great year. But this year, you guys ended up 15-16 overall, and you guys ended up with a winning record in conference at 8-6. You know, taking over a program, and what's that transition when you have a program and you need to kind of rebuild that program?
Well, it was a huge challenge. I mean, the team before was, like you said, they were 0-24 when we came in. And I knew that's not acceptable. We're at Portland Community College. I mean, we're in the great city of Portland. That just bothered me. So I came on board, and my first line of things to do was to get some assistant coaches. I got Coach Bell and another coach, Tyrone White, best coaches around. I knew that if I got good guys around me, that we could begin to do some things. We began to recruit players. Vancouver, the city of Vancouver has some really good talent. These guys are a perfect example of that. And then we just began to build and work hard and have high expectations. And I think, you know, the combination of players, coaches, high expectations, and hard work has really paid off.
Coach Bell, what do you think you bring to PCC?
Just a winning attitude and a refuse to lose attitude. The guys sometimes think that we're hard on them, but we know that without hard work, you're not going to reap any benefits. If we don't set the expectation high, they'll fall short of the goal. So that was one of my number one things in talking with Tony right up front, was saying, man, we have to set the expectations high and then continue to push them throughout the season, and we'll get where we want to be. And we ended up about where we thought we would.
So, you know, at community college, most of the players are there for 2 years. When you have a turnaround like this, do you think it's easier to do at a community college because the turnover is so much quicker than it is at a 4-year university?
That's a good question. And it varies. We were lucky to have guys show up to the gym that we could build relationships with quickly and establish some goals. And then we had a good group of young men who paid attention and worked really hard to reach those goals. At a community college, it may be, that's a long shot sometimes, because you have people coming and going quarter by quarter. So I think our success was good this year. I think we definitely snuck up on some people. And this year, I think we'll have some people waiting for us. So the track's been laid, and we just have to continue to work hard to get good results.
You beat Lane Community College at the end of the season, convincingly. It was a great game. Then you played them, 2 days later, and you lost by 16. What was different about it?
You had to bring that up.
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
No, yeah. I mean, Lane Community College is really a really good team. They were ranked #1 in the whole NWAC for a large part of the year. We beat them to end the season to force the 3-way tie for the league playoffs, and then we had to turn around and play them again 2 nights later. They played better. We didn't play as well, but there are a lot of little things that happened. Our big man, Anthony Hines, got hurt on Saturday night with about 5 minutes left. So then he turns around on Monday, and he's at about 25%, and he was a huge factor. And there's a lot of little things. We just didn't shoot the ball real well. But my hat's off to them. We won't make excuses, but we will be ready for them and everybody else next year.
But how often do you use injury as an excuse?
I don't very often. We expected to win that game with Anthony, without Anthony, but in reality, it was a tough task.
We've had some other programs in here earlier tonight who kind of come from that winning tradition. How do you instill in these players that they are going to win and not to look at the past, whereas these other teams look at the past and kind of build off of that. How do you get them to ignore the past?
Well, what we do is we build every day in practice, and we play to win. Either if it's a one-on-one scrimmage game, if it's a drill, we really emphasize winning everything. And to get them to learn how to win and how to do the little things, and that losing is not acceptable. So, we continued to build that and reminded them that last year's team, it wasn't us, and this was a good chance for them to make a name for themselves by putting Portland Community College on the map and doing some things that had never been done before, which they did. We set a record for most wins in school history.
So, PCC, you guys coming into it, you knew the history of the team. Could you tell that there was like a culture change, or was it pretty much the same for you guys throughout the whole year?
Definitely a culture change. I mean, when we first started running, there's a whole bunch of conditioning, strengthening, and drills, and they just instilled in our heads, we're going to be a winning team. We're not going to take losing for anything. So,
I could tell it was a different type of culture when I saw who the coaches were. I mean, as soon as I saw the coaches, I knew it was going to be a long ride, but I knew in the end it would pay off because I know I was going to put in the hard work, and I knew some of the people around me were going to put in the hard work, and we made a pact to do that, and that's what we did, and that's where it got us.
So, Coach, sounds like he drives you guys pretty hard when you guys are out there. Is that something you kind of look forward to as you're, right now you probably, when you're out on the practice, on the court running, you're like, I hate Coach right now. But is that something, like during the off season, that it's all paid off, or when, it's the fourth quarter and the other guy's down on his knees and you're ready to go? Is that something that you feel like thankful to Coach for?
Definitely. I was actually, I'm not known for my I've never been known for my defense, but I can honestly say this year I got some defensive recognition, and I could honestly say it came from all that running.
Right. I mean, we some games that were close, we pulled it out because we just in better condition than the other team. So, I mean, yeah, it was a big change. We ran a lot.
Marcus, look at these two guys. Who's tougher?
Mr. Bell right there.
Why?
Just because it's just his presence. His presence is just, man, it's no nonsense attitude. He don't care if you whining or crying. He wants the best out of us, and he's gonna get the best out of us.
How often does he smile in practice or games?
Coach Bodice?
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, he's serious, but he loves the game, and who wouldn't want to smile? This is the greatest game ever.
With a great group of guys. I mean, I had a blast. So yeah, I take that as a compliment. I'm definitely serious, but I enjoyed every minute of it. And I don't think as a coach you have to be stomping around all the time. Why? Get on them, be focused, be serious, but let's enjoy this. But at the end, let's get the W.
Yeah. So you guys were both named co-MVPs of the season.
Yes.
Talk about that honor, because was that something that your coaches recognized you for, or was that voted on by your teammates?
Well, I think it was kind of both.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like I didn't think I was gonna get it. I honestly thought Marcus was gonna get it, but for me to get it as well it's a plus.
Warren, you have a little size on Marcus. One-on-one, who wins?
Me, definitely.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Do you go inside or do you go outside?
Both.
Both.
He's lying right now.
So what's your go-to move?
Pull-up jumper. I love that move. It just feels great. I get up in there and I just let it go, and then hear the net just swish. Best feeling in the world.
So next year, you guys are both freshmen this year, so you're going to be back next year for PCC,
yes.
Correct? What are your expectations for next year, for team and individually?
Team, a banner, no losses on home court, and yeah, that's about it. But individual, for myself, All-American of the league, first team defense, first team offense, and be in every category, a top 10 in every category.
For the team, I want to win the NWAC. You know, go to the championship, go to the tournament. You know, have the community come to more of our games. You know, it was great the last 2 games. You know, it was packed. So I like that feeling. I want that to keep happening. And individual, just play the best I can. You know, knowing that, you know, some games it's going to be rough, but to just play the best basketball I can and hopefully, you know, win some awards and, you know, just get that ring, that championship.
So what other, individually, you talked about kind of what you wanted to do. Coach, what are your expectations for next year?
We're set up to have a fabulous season. We've got 6 returning guys, 4 starters back. We're recruiting some good players. So, you know, we're planning to win league. The goal is to win league, get to the get to the tournament, the NWAC tournament, and go from there. But definitely win league, and that's what I usually stick with, is a goal to win league, and then once you get to the tournament, go from there. But we got some good players back. Coaches are focused. It's going to be a fun season. And like they said, the crowd was awesome last. We set attendance records. We're hoping to have even bigger crowds where they've got to bring in extra seating for our home games.
So where can people find out schedule for next year and more information about PCC?
On our website, Portland Community College website, go to athletics and men's basketball, and it's all right there.
All right, this is Portland Community College, the men's basketball team in the NWAC, and the next year's NWAC champions.
That's the plan.
All right, so we got that basketball over there. We're going to throw that over to Brad. If I can get one of you guys to throw that over there. Thank you very much, guys.
Look at that. Good hands, good throwing, PCC basketball. They had a great season. Why didn't you catch the ball? Were you a little scared there?
Yeah, I was a little scared.
Okay, a little bit scared there. I still had one question left for Coach Tony Broadus, but they sent me over here. But anyways, I'll just ask it to the camera. Maybe I can get it answered later. I was just wondering why there are no other sports beside basketball. Why isn't there baseball, softball, volleyball, track, something at PCC? That question is really for the athletic director, Dick Magruder. I couldn't get him on. I tried so hard. I called him up. I said, Dick, I said, please, you got to come on this show. He's like, I'm an athletic director. I direct. I don't go on camera. Director, off camera, coaches, on camera. So we tried. Okay, let's finish up. Let's wrap up this beautiful show.
All right. So on next week's show, which will be April 24th, we can look forward to seeing some high school softball, some high school basketball, and 2 players from the IPS, which is the top amateur soccer team in town from the OPSL. And there also will be highlights from Nike Hoop Summit, which is on April 20th.
Oh, very good. And the name of the show is?
SportsBeat.
Portland SportsBeat. I'm Brad Stein, and that
is Taylor Foster.
And thank you very much to Central Catholic Girls Basketball State Champs, Valley Catholic Girls Basketball, and of course, PCC Men Basketball. Don't forget PJ Miller. Great job interviewing Ryan Johnson. Again, I'm Brad. That's Taylor. Goodbye, everyone. Do you see how the credits is coming down on me, not you? It's on me, not you. Pretty face, okay face, I understand totally. Thank you very much. Again, go to portlandsportsbeat.com. That's where you can find more information and you can listen live.